Boom. Welcome back, YouTube. It's your boy Angelo back at with another fire video. Let's get straight into it, guys. Today I have Josh here. Josh, go ahead and tell him who you are and what you do, brother.
What's going on, man? Well, yeah, like you said, my name is Josh. Right now, dude, I'm living out in Nashville. Just moved out here with my fiance in December. Before that, I was back home in California and trading full time. Came out here and been kind of part time at it. Also, kind of became kind of one of the civilians working at a bar here in Nashville called Ophelia's. Right now, we're just in the works of opening up a business right now. So ventures are pretty busy, but we're working at it. We're trying to figure something out.
Nice, bro. So we got some questions here today prepared. Hopping into the next question, man. Let's
Yeah.
go into what inspired you to pursue your industry and what is your mentality?
So what would have inspired me, I would say, is my great grandfather. When I was about 15, 16, I had just heard about investing from him because he invested heavily into Croatian funds and overseas money and whatnot. And I was very interested on that. And so what I did basically that week I had found out about him doing that, I went on YouTube and I went and Googled how to become a trader, what to learn, everything about it, man. Within the first year, it wasn't the best year. I made the typical mistakes of following some certain YouTube mongrels and or TikTokers, whatever they may be. And
Yep,
yes, they
yep.
taught me some. They sent me some. They taught me some of the fundamentals, but they didn't teach me the true meaning and definition of trading and how to actually trade and handle the emotions that come along with trading and
The big one.
all of the everything that comes along with it, right? So within my first year, um, I basically traded a bunch of like EV stocks and Chinese companies, and I can't say I did terrible. I did well, but I lost good close to 40 grand, 30 grand that first year. So it can get ugly.
Right.
After about that, I there was a guy in my group. We'll call him Drew. And I noticed that Drew was always throwing out these plays, and he was always hitting on money, and he was calling out the stuff that hits on Tesla, Nvidia, whatever it might be. He was reading SPY charts, SPX charts, ES, NQ, all that stuff to a T. Like he knew what he was doing. So I reached out to him one day, and I was like, "How do you know what you know?" And he got me in contact with who is now my mentor, and we'll call him Michael, right? So after then, I hunkered down. I joined his group that he was getting mentored by, and I read 3 books. And within about 6 months, I turned my trading into a whole 360. I was able to. Ever since then, I guess I would say since coming out here to Nashville, I hadn't worked an in-person job since I was about 15 or 15, 16. So I was able to full-time trade, and on the sidelines of that, I was doing a little bit of editing before that when I was in middle school up until high school, and then really just hunkered down on trading then. And I was able to go full time with that. Do the things I was able to enjoy, like traveling and going to see different parts of the country. And at a young age, that's the crucial because you can get that knocked out with before you have a family, before you have kids. So that was the goal, and thank God. I mean, I was able to meet that goal, right? And we're still working at it. We're still
Amen.
trying to get to where I want to be because you never stop learning. Every day is a new day. Um, but it all started, like you said, what inspired me. It's all started with my great grandfather. Definitely, he
That's
definitely
that's
he flipped the switch in me for sure.
That's powerful, man. That's awesome that you had a mentor, someone to look up to, and someone to be like. Man, that's so
Absolutely.
important for everyone that becomes successful. They always find a mentor and they ask, "What did they do that I can duplicate?" And that's
Hmm.
powerful. I like that you honed in on one skill and focused up and over poured that cup into other ones. Now you got the bar
Absolutely.
going. That's amazing, brother. So let's
Absolutely,
tap
man.
let's tap in. What would you recommend to a beginner, kind of still in the beginning stages, trying to come up like you?
I guess what couldn't I recommend, right? A lot of people like to get into the game of trading and think they can get rich quick. They think that they're going to make money overnight, and some people do, and a lot of people do. A lot of people will follow somebody online and they'll see, oh, we just bought Nvidia, buy the Nvidia, and they hit big on it, right? So that's awesome, good for them. But what did they learn during that process? That's the big thing. Those
Mm-hmm.
people that you see on Twitter or TikTok, or people that may not even post. It could be your friend, it could be an acquaintance, somebody you heard of, somebody you've talked to in the streets, and they said they made $100,000 on crypto in a day, or they made $50,000 on something in one day. Do they really know how they made that money? Did they read the charts to analyze if they were going to make the money, or did they get lucky? So I
Yep.
guess don't go into it expecting you're going to make money. Don't go into it without money and not having a backup plan. Like you can't hop into trading full time and expect it to work out, because in reality it's not always going to work. It's not going to be consistent, because it's a process of learning. You have to go through the fruit. You gotta let's see. You gotta enjoy the fruits of the labor. You gotta do the work, of course, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Um, and that just comes down to like the 5 P's I try to follow. It's proper preparation prevents poor
Yep.
performance, right?
Told
So
my
if you
dad
can
that
go in,
this Sunday. Go ahead.
that's right. So if you can go into this game being properly prepared, you won't have poor performance, right? So go in. Obviously, want to educate yourself, analyze the charts, read books. Books are knowledge. People don't realize that, especially when it comes to like trading. And I mean, it can be anything, but the reason I say trading specifically is because that's most of the books I've read. You're not going to find me reading Harry Potter or anything like that. I'm gonna. It's just something.
Yep.
It's not something for me, right? But if you go to talk to somebody about Harry Potter or Disneyland, I guarantee they tell you everything about Harry Potter. I couldn't. I can tell
The
you about trading them.
warlocks.
Yeah,
And the
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
that's not me,
Hey,
man.
while on the topic of books, bro, you're giving us so much game, by the way. What
Yes,
books? I
sir.
know Trading in the Zone, Mark Douglas is the big one. Do you have any more?
I would do Volume Profile by Anna Cooling as a very specific one. Those ones help me out a lot. And then Volume Price Analysis. And I can't. Oh, that's a Trader Dale book. Trader Dale for sure. So those three, like you just said, also along with Trading in the Zone, those three books would honestly, I can give you that would change somebody's life fundamentally if they read those three books before going into trading. And even if you got into trading and you're doing absolute ass for 6 months, take a step back, read some books, study up, freshen up your mind, and get back into it. Like, I
That's
mean, you
key.
can't. Yeah, it's like you're not gonna fail if you don't try. So you got to at least
Yep.
try. So
Yep.
there's no
And
there's no point in just giving up. Just keep going.
right. And failing is a part of the game. Most
Absolutely.
successful people always lose a big sum of money before they become profitable.
And if they tell you that they don't, they're full of shit.
Right. Or they had someone holding their hand coming
Uh-huh.
up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not, I mean, that's not how it works for most people nowadays. And if it does, man, I guess good for you. You got it pretty
Got
easy. But
lucky.
a
Yeah.
lot of us out here, man, we gotta work for it. We gotta figure it out on our own.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Man, what habits got you to where you're at today?
I would say consistency, um, being hopeful for sure, and just being able to persevere over like those hard times. And I mean, obviously, I mean, I had days, man, where I mean, I've had bad trading days where I've been in tears, like crying because you lose money. Your emotions
Mm-hmm.
get the best of you. Don't let that get in the way, because you don't know what the next day brings. You could make that money back, and if you do make that money back, good for you. But you got to hold your ass now, and you got to really be safe with that money and not lose it again.
Key. Very key, man.
Absolutely.
Shoot. And talk about it. Once you repeat those same mistakes and those tears start to fall, what do you tell yourself going through that storm to get through the sunny days?
I just, just the way you got to think about it is like you gotta adapt to the mindset as you're never gonna stop learning, and this market is never gonna stay the same. It changes every day. There's no if telling or how it's gonna be. I mean, yeah, sure, you can follow chart fundamentals and follow news, and it can give you an idea as if you're gonna have a bullish day or a bearish day, but within a matter of second, news can come out and that can flip a switch. And then when that switch is flipped, you got to be able to follow that the correct way for sure. So definitely be prepared is a big
Be
one.
prepared. Absolutely, man. Tell me, what were your biggest struggles coming up and how you solved them in terms of
Definitely
trading?
like we touched on in the beginning of this call, man. And it was a
Right.
perfect point. My biggest struggle was having the idea that I was going to get rich quick. I went into this trading with, not having a backup plan. And, sometimes that can be good for you because it forces you to be in an uncomfortable position. And when you're uncomfortable, you got to figure out how to be comfortable. So I would definitely say, like, not jumping into it. You got to be prepared for sure. And then if you're gonna have those bad days, just hold on because you were always in that one spot beforehand. You were there's every day there's somebody new starting, and if say you had a $300,000 day on Tuesday, and then Wednesday you lose 150,000, you're down to half your bankroll right there. You got to realize that you had that money beforehand. You can make it back, but you got to be responsible on how you do it.
Absolutely. Man, let's talk about psychology. How do
Whew.
you expedite that? That's a big one, yo.
Uh huh.
How do you expedite that learning curve to where you're like, okay, I took a $10,000 loss on Monday, but I'm gonna come back and make one to two, risk 12,000 to make 24,000 and be overall profitable. How do you do that?
I mean, that's a good way of thinking about it. But like, say you lose 10,000, right? And you're really down on your ass. You're gonna want to make that money quick, but at that point, you lost that money. You got to be very safe on making that money back. So look at your calendar, look at your trading days, and figure out. I want to make $500 each day for 10 days straight, and that'll put me back at this much. Or 250 bucks each day, and then at 14 days, 15 days, whatever it might be, you're gonna make that money back. You gotta slow yourself down and kind of take a step back, humble yourself, and realize I'm not the head honcho here, and I'm not the guy that's in control of the market. I'm playing. I'm a little fish in a shark world essentially, and you gotta take your piece when you can and run with it. Be done. Don't force trades because that's when you're forcing trades, you're sitting down you have better odds at a casino if you're gonna sit there and gamble away your money all day. You just go press a button. Honestly, if you're gonna lose 500 bucks in the morning and you still continue to sit down in that chair until 3 o'clock, you might as well just go to the casino because you already lost that money. You're in a bad mindset trying to make that money, forcing trades, which is only going to set you up for failure.
True. So true, man. That's
Hmm.
real raw and uncut, guys. Go and leave a like, comment, and subscribe for that.
That's
What's
right.
your
It's
Instagram so these guys can get some more value from
gonna
you?
be. It's just Josh dot Lucas with two S's.
Cool, cool. Let's keep going with it. Man, on those days where you wake up and you're just like, damn, I'm not feeling it today. How do you remind yourself to stay motivated?
Just look at your life, man. Look where you are now. Look and compare it to where you were, 10 years ago. I'll tell you now, you and I 10 years ago, we were playing Call of Duty.
Straight up. Black Ops 2,
Uh-huh.
man. Black Ops, man, that's crazy.
We were
Team player
sitting
right
up in
here.
our living room, bro, until 3 in the morning. I remember that buried game, or it wasn't buried; it was the upside down room glitch we were doing, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you just
We're gaming the
think,
system
uh
already.
huh. Just think bigger picture, man. If you're not feeling it, you don't have to trade, man. Nobody's forcing you. That's the luxury of trading. Or if you're trading, or if you're doing sport bets, you're on your own time. You're not working for a
Yup.
big boss. So you can wake up, have your cup of coffee, go get a workout, get some fresh air, just go talk to people. Yeah, there you go. That's right. Just, get yourself in that mindset. Do something that's going to make you feel good rather than, you don't always have to look good. I mean, obviously, coming along with trading and when you're doing when you're making money with sport bets, you're going to want to buy lavish things and look nice. But, that doesn't always make you feel good internally. You got to check
Secondary
yourself. It's all about your mental for sure.
number,
So if you're
bro,
waking
so
up and not
big.
feeling it, do something about it.
Yeah.
Like I tell my boys, and I've even told my girl, and they respect me for it because they know I do it for. I say it because I love them, but like, grab your balls, grab your ovaries, let's do it. Like this is a new day. You can take on this day, make this day your bitch.
Straight up, bro.
You're in
Buckle
control of how you
down.
want to paint
Yup.
your picture.
That's so super key, bro. I feel like some people just quit too easy, man. They take a loss and they take 3 days off. Like, bro,
You
you got to
can't.
get back in there.
Yeah, you
And
can't. I
yeah,
mean, I've done that.
same here.
I've taken months off. I've taken 2 months off, and only that does is going to set you up for more failure because you're not in tune with it. You're not in tune with the market. You're not in tune with the
Hmm.
sports. You're not knowing what's going
Hmm.
on. You don't know if that player was injured last week, or you don't know if that stock has earnings next week.
Yo,
Like, you got to be in tune.
gotta fail
Definitely.
forward, man.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't. You got to look in the Look in the windshield, not the rear view mirror. Because if you keep looking in the rear view mirror behind you, looking in the back in the past, the problems, you're gonna keep failing. You're gonna keep crashing.
That's absolutely correct. And I think that just weeds out the weak of who's really wanting this. Are you going
Uh
to
huh.
keep going, blown accounts after blown accounts? Are you going to keep it going? Still read those books. Wake up for session market open. Man, that's just amazing to hear coming from you, bro. Someone that has the results, and we definitely are listening to you. Thank you.
Of course, man.
So I'm going to get into off the top of the head. Let's say you came up from a place where you started at the same level from others,
Okay.
and they see you having all this success. You getting the nice vacations, the nice possessions, the freedom of time, and
Mm-hmm.
you realize that instead of them being inspired, in a sense they're intimidated, they envy, they're jealous eyes. How do you solve that problem? Love from a
You know, it's
distance?
yeah, kind of. It's like it's tough to do that. I mean, I've dealt with that firsthand with friends that I've grown up with and considered my best friends and even family. I haven't
Mhm.
talked to some of my closest family in 7 years, 8 years. Why? It's because they're jealous, and there's nothing
Yep,
you can really do about that. I think of haters as my motivators. As my family
yep.
will always be family, and friends will always be there. But in the end of the day, bro, we're gonna go to bed on this. We're gonna go to sleep in this bed wrapping up ourselves, dog. In the end of the day, we have
Straight
ourselves.
up.
No matter what, if we got a lady that loves us, we got our parents that love us. We always got to check ourselves and know that we got ourselves. Don't
Man,
worry about what the outsiders think because that's just gonna slow you down. I've
shit.
spent a good like this past month. I've stepped away from
Yeah,
Snapchat. I've stepped away from Twitter,
nice.
and I'm just now starting to step away from Instagram a little slowly. Just because why is because the internet puts on this persona that everybody has
Yep,
a perfect life. Nobody
facade.
got these perfect relationships. You got these perfect traders. You got, I still it still gets to me these days. I'll see people pop up on my Instagram who are great traders,
Likewise.
and I had a really terrible day, say last week, right? So I had a day last week where I lost, man, I was like $6,200 or $6,300, and somebody on my Snapchat, I saw that he made close to 14 grand, and that made me feel like shit. But really, what did that like? That doesn't help me.
Nope.
So it would start
Psychology.
out, like you said, distancing yourself from that stuff. Get away from the outside noise and really focus in on you.
Man, that's super important, man. And just to add on to that a bit, for those listening, always have this cookie jar moments, I like to call them. I learned this from David Goggins. Moments in your life where you were down bad and you somehow made it through the struggle. For me, it's kicking an onside kick in a championship football game and recovering it myself.
That's
And that's just
killer.
one moment I got on YouTube, bro. Whenever I'm just down bad, I lost a trade. I know I overtraded. I shouldn't have did it. I'll take a step back. I'll watch that video. Okay, bro, you're not the worst human being in the world. You've made things happen for yourself. You've you've what do you
That's my
said
exact point.
you said you wrap your own self in the blanket, and that's essentially what I did in that sense, bro. You live with your losses, you live with your wins. Man, that's
Do what
that's
you gotta
key.
do, man. And that's also like what you did right there, looking at those videos. That's looking back in the past, bro. Look at where you were compared to where you are now. If you're having a
Mhm.
bad day, man, think 5 years ago I wasn't even trading. You could have been working at McDonald's, making
Yep.
$12 an hour, and now you're working a job on your own time, doing what you want, what you love, and hey, you might be making $50 an hour averagely. You're still doing better than you
Hmm.
were then. Bigger
Absolutely,
picture,
bro.
baby.
Progression.
Bigger picture.
That's what brings happiness, man. Progression over possessions.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. People get that misguided. A lot of people love materialistic things nowadays, and I'm
That was me
I'm
at one
I'm
point.
growing up.
Guilty.
Yeah, bro, it was me too, man. I was wanting to buy the Louis belt and buying the Gucci stuff, and wanted to buy a nice car and all that shit. And it's like, in the end of the day, what really makes you a big dog is your assets and how you are as a person. Like, make if you're a
Right.
really solid person, you got a good heart, a good soul. That's money right there. I don't
Yep.
care if you got a private jet, or I don't care if you can go and take me to the bar and pay for my drinks all night. I mean, I
Yep.
got myself. If you can be good
Right.
company and treat me right, I'll treat you better, man. We can be homies. Like, that's the way
That's
it
right.
is.
how you treat others, bro, is more important than what you
Yeah,
possess, man.
it comes down to being a good person and just being true to yourself. And if you don't
Man,
want to be a good person, man, figure that out with yourself. Go see a therapist, get that analyzed, man. But don't take it out on other people, especially
yo,
other people that are doing
yo,
better in better mental space. Because when you're negative to
yo,
that, it's just gonna bring them down. It's not worth it. You're just
yo,
don't be
and
shitty.
you,
Don't be a shitty
yo,
person. Just spread
facts,
love.
and you magnetize the energy that you put out.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's all about, man. You whatever you put out is what you're gonna receive, and whatever you receive that you're not in control of, that's on the other person, because you're still doing your part on being a good person, having a good
Yo,
heart. And if that person wants to be shitty, man, let him be shitty. And
yo,
like you said, keep that distance.
that's right, bro. That's absolutely right, man. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, I had some pancakes I was eating on the way to church, bro. And we had this homeless lady on the side of the road asking for money, whatever. And I was like, damn, she would eat this. I know for sure. If not, she throws it away. That's on her. But at least I'm doing my part.
You're doing your part, man, and you
Yeah,
know the big man upstairs is watching, and that's
that's
what it's
right.
about.
They talked about that on the way to church. The lesson was God sees your heart.
Yep.
Shit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
bro. And I
Yeah.
love that you analyze that as well, and you feel the same way, because that's what that's what it's about, man. I think all of it comes down to just having the faith in the Lord, man, and just trusting His process.
Just absolutely, bro. Even when you don't understand, just sticking to it.
Yeah, dude. Whatever you believe in, just stay faithful and stay hopeful.
Yo,
Just
there's
you
moments,
can
bro.
leave the
Yo,
religion out of it. Just be a true person to yourself.
absolutely
And if you
positive
fuck up, don't go
principles.
out and say you had a good day. Don't play a fake
Hmm.
person.
Just
Don't
be
be posting
transparent.
fake screenshots and taking other people's shit. Like just be
Yo,
legit. You'll get more respect
yo,
that way.
absolutely more engagement also.
Uh-huh. I probably have
Man,
more screenshots of losses than I do wins, because it's just not. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have. I will say I got a lot of
same,
screenshots
bro.
of wins too, but like you gotta
Yeah,
also
too.
humble yourself too. You can't get caught into it.
That's right, man. That is right. And shit, for me, bro, I'm gonna switch it up a bit. When I have a day where I broke my rules in betting or whatever trading, I'll have these punishments, bro, where yo, you didn't follow your rules today. Now you gotta do 5 miles, 10 miles on the bike. You gotta go
That's
do
great,
a lap.
dude. Hold yourself accountable.
Do you
Absolutely. If
have
you force yourself to
any
do 20
hmm
push-ups, 20 push-ups. That's
bro?
what I like. That's what I'm saying. I'll do that. I found myself. Like back when I was in California, really full-time trading, and that's what I was doing all the time. If I had a bad day, I would literally have to physically unplug my keyboard or do whatever I had to do to get myself out of that room and go outside, go for a walk. And like it's just in that minute, like that you go outside, get some fresh air, take a 10-minute, 15-minute walk, you'll be able to decompress a little bit.
Hmm.
And hey, you might be able to step back in for like the lunch session during trading, and
Yo,
you might be able to do
yo.
better. And if you're not feeling it, dude, there's always another day.
That's right. That's the thing, bro. You don't gotta force anything, man. There's gonna be always tomorrow.
Absolutely.
If you blow your
And if
account, then you're not gonna have tomorrow. You have to
uh-huh, you can't
re-stack
force it.
up.
You got to handle those emotions, because
Yo,
emotions are the biggest rule. When if That's the biggest factor when it comes to trading, I feel like is your emotions.
yo, emotions, bro, man. So much value, and we definitely appreciate everything you've been saying. When
Oh,
you
I appreciate it,
come
bro.
to a moment, bro, where you just know like your emotions are out of whack for the day, and you're like, all right, just need to take a step back. Do you have that moment where you're just like, okay, let's go. You unplug the keyboard, you said. How do you have that discipline built up?
I just think it comes down to, I mean, it comes along with experience, because when you get tired of having those bad days in the beginning, you're going to bed having a shitty day, you can only handle so many shitty days until you want to quit, right? So you got to be able to swallow those feelings and really accept it and just move on.
Yo, man, straight up. Shit. I learned something from the number one FTMO trader in like Forex and indices. He talks about the sleep test. He says if you can't sleep at night, your positions are too high. Have
Yeah,
you
if you're
ever
going to bed thinking
yeah,
about it and you're stressed out about it, that's something
yeah.
that's just you over trading right there. You should not be having a. I mean, you're gonna stress, but you can't though. You can't worry about it. if you're gonna be gambling, this is a gambling game essentially. I mean, you're putting your faith in the market. You're putting your faith into the news. If you're gonna do that, man, you might as well go to the casino. Like I said,
Right,
go
50-50
go
on
gamble
red.
that money away. You got to be able to
Absolutely.
handle those emotions and know when to stop, and be humble with it. Don't, if you make $10,000, dude, stop. Don't go for 15 or 20 in that day. Just make it another 10 the next day.
Yeah, bro, I'm so guilty of that, bro. I bet UFC turned 50 into 1,000 in one night. It's
Mm,
gone the next morning. And
yeah,
I'm like,
you can't.
damn, just stop, Diego. You fucking 20x your money, bro. And
Yeah, just imagine if I
Angelo,
would have went to sleep, right?
yeah, bro. And it's just like, yo, you gotta go to those lessons, bro, and feel that pain to be
You
like, all
have
right,
to go. Yeah, you got to be
I want,
uncomfortable to be comfortable.
yeah, man, shit. So talk about diversification now. You said you got other cups flowing into other cups. What is it like, and how do you essentially get to that point?
So I mean, I guess it just comes down to like being consistent, right? Like I said, I was doing trading full time back home, and coming out here to Nashville, it's a busy town, man. There's musicians everywhere, there's actors, there's you name it, there's business people everywhere, man, and that's inspiring. So since coming out here, like my fiance, we've been very consistent with talking about opening a business and wanting to be business owners. And we've gotten like the little side jobs, like me specifically, like I was telling you, this was like my very first in-person job for a while because I was always either working for myself or editing before that. So I needed something to get me out of the house. So I was going to
Hmm.
work on this place near Broadway, and it's cool. But like I was speaking with her today, speaking with my pops yesterday, and this has been a conversation recently too. Is like I'm already over it. It's been 4 or 5 months, and it's just not for me. I'm not trying to work
Hmm.
for somebody. I was I was
Absolutely, bro.
I was in a better financial position when I was being able to work for myself on my own time and do what I
Likewise.
wanted. And now that I'm, it's states are different, minimum wage is different. And like for instance, Tennessee out here in Nashville, this bar pays $4 an hour
That's shit.
plus tips. That's exactly it. So that's shit. So I mean, say for instance, they schedule me on a Wednesday or a Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. We get 5 or 6 people in the morning. I'm really only gonna probably make 15, $20 for my
Right.
hourly, barely any tips because that gets split between however many servers or
The
bartenders
pool.
there are. I could be sitting at home in the comfort of my home, making breakfast, hanging out with my fiance and the dogs, whatever it might be, trading and be in a much better mental space, not having to worry about going to work for somebody else to make, a dime. You know what I mean? It's not worth
Yep.
it.
I agree, man. I've always been a hustler too, bro. Always a one man ship, and I just
That's what it's
couldn't.
about.
I couldn't succumb to taking orders, bro. At
Yeah, yeah,
periods of my life, yes, but I feel like mentally I'm so far in a humble way ahead to where I'd rather go hustle a parking lot and flip merchandise,
yeah.
t-shirts,
Just be
product.
your own boss, man. It's like I got family. Like my fiance's dad, he's a business owner in LA, one of the largest concrete companies out there. And then my dad, he owns a winery. He's a winemaker out there in California.
Solid.
And so obviously that inspires me coming out here to Tennessee. He's got his wine out here now. But like we're talking about opening up a tasting room out here, and then my fiance and I, we have a couple ideas um, that I
Nice.
wouldn't really discuss right now because they're like
Got you, got you.
good
Yep, yep.
business ideas. You just gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
Um,
Follow him,
but
stay
lots of
updated.
opportunity, man. Yeah, you'll know for sure. We'll talk about it.
Absolutely, bro. I always had the idea of having sort of a subway, but for like how do I say cannabis consumers? But
Yeah, so there's
maybe
actually called the cannabis out here. There's a cannabis out here in
what?
Nashville, and it's a school bus that's all painted.
Yeah.
It's got couches inside, and you can go and buy joints. You can go buy pre rolls. They actually have like a little dab bar in there too. So there is stuff, and there's money.
Damn.
That's money right there too, because you can make
Yo,
money from that.
you could
Dude,
do
it's crazy.
freaking yo, that's like a tour, like what they call them for parties buses. They get the party buses, but you can have that in there, bro. It's just an added value.
Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Man.
Or if you did like an infused bar or an infused restaurant with like Oh, dude, we got to talk about this because I
Yeah,
got the business mindset. I got lots of ideas. Like you can, and especially for you, like you could do like a little small speakeasy type restaurants with like 5 or 6 things on the menu, and they're all infused. And like, there's
dude,
ways you can do it.
that's genius. Oh my gosh, we're gonna talk about that, bro.
We'll definitely
Damn.
talk, man. I could definitely pick your brain. I'm sure you could pick mine too.
Yeah, bro. Value exchange. That's
What
awesome,
it's
bro. Let's
about.
talk about. Yeah, yeah. What would you say?
I said that's what it's about.
Yep, yep. Man, let's talk about your faith and you have a close relationship with God, it sounds like.
Yes,
What,
sir.
yep, yep. What is it with God that your relationship has kept you so successful?
I think it's just I mean, it all comes obviously down to prayer, but I've even found myself like within these past 6 months, like my fiance and I, we've moved in together, and it's been a testing time, right? We're on our own, and I've prayed to God to even ask like for help or support to even like better myself. And even as silly as little prayers of like, please make this shift go by quick, make it smooth. I don't want to deal with a bunch of assholes. And at the end of the day,
Yeah,
I get
same
home,
here.
bro, and I feel great. And I'm like, damn, that was such a good shift. Big man listened to me. And
Thank you.
another really crazy thing is my fiance's grandmother, she was we all like there's something about her and butterflies, but she had recently just passed away from cancer,
Oh
and
man.
we have nonstop been seeing butterflies. We went kayaking yesterday, and there was a butterfly sitting on our kayak. Literally
Wow,
probably for like a good 30 minutes just going down the river with us, and like we would get
dang.
off and like swim a little bit, and she'd walk up on the rocks by the kayak, and there would be like 5 or 6 butterflies at her feet. So like it's just weird when you have like
The
um
sign.
the signs, bro. Exactly. And it
Damn,
just
bro.
keep, obviously keeping up and going to church and staying faithful, and showing how thankful you are for everything you have, but also being
Yeah,
humble for what you got because of how you have it.
that's right, bro. Man, I had a conversation last night at the gym. One of the employees was like, "Man, you been here all day, man. Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Bro, I'm staying out the streets. I'm getting it in." And he kind of laughed. And then
Hmm.
and he started talking to me about God, bro. And he just said, "Be." The point I got from it was, don't be boastful. Don't do things to gain attention. Just do it in the praise of the Lord. And that just stuck with me. That was very
Yeah, I
key.
mean, everything we
Sometimes,
got
yeah,
because of him, right? That's why we're on this earth.
yeah, bro.
All thanks to him, bro.
Yep, it helps a lot, bro. Like prayer, people sleep on it, but it really helps you a lot.
Big time. Absolutely.
hmm When 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 I pray, bro, or when I even seek guidance from a mentor, I just ask for the abilities to understand what I need. Not necessarily give me this X, Y, or Z, but just give me the ability to understand.
Yeah, open my eyes a little bit.
What do you essentially pray for, bro, when you pray?
I like. I mean, I'm still working on it, man. Like growing up as a kid, I was going through like a divorced family, so I was going to church every other week. I wasn't
Me too.
very like into it, in tune with it. But like I said, we had just moved out here recently. My fiance, we've been going like trying to go every Sunday if, with as much as we travel, been out of town, working, whatever it might be. Um, obviously, you always got to first thing you start off with is thanking him for everything you got. You got to be grateful. Be grateful you woke up. Thankful for that meal you have in front of you, the safety and the love you were provided. And then go in. Obviously, you want to just ask for what you need help for. But you always got to thank him first. Always be grateful. Always show that you're thankful. At least that's
Yup.
what I was always taught. That's what I was brought up on, and that's how like praying with my families at dinner, and we would pray every time before we eat. Like we would sit down, my dad would pray, or I would pray, or like we would take turns in the family
Nice.
saying a prayer before dinner, and having those examples on how to pray that helped me a lot. And I always grew up on thanking him for what you have and thanking him for your shelter and your guidance and your safety and obviously dying on the cross for your sins, like sending his son to do that, like all the big sacrifices to be where you are today.
Key, man. Major.
Yeah.
So just on a freestyle, do you got any words of encouragement for people watching this?
Man, I would just say don't give up and stay hopeful. And if you find yourself in a rut where you want to give up, don't give up and just read some books, go watch a video, go find something that's gonna flip that switch to inspire you again. Go talk to a
Yep.
friend, go talk to a fellow trader, whatever it might be. Get it off your chest. Don't let it sit inside you and eat you alive. Because you're always going to have bad days trading. You're always going to have bad sport bets. It's not going to be a perfect world, even
Yep.
if you're the best trader. It's not how it works. You're not in control of how things move.
Yep.
So it's just a matter
Man.
of just staying strong, man, staying hopeful for the future and know that you're in a better place now than you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even whatever it might be. If you're in a worse spot, that's something you got to figure out and really hunker down and stop what you're doing to what's causing those bad problems in your life.
Yep. You can do two things: quit or figure out what you're really doing wrong. Shit.
But quitting should never be an option.
Nope, never, bro. And it's okay to take a break, but get your ass back in the markets, get back in the
Uh-huh.
bets. Yep.
Exactly.
How do you handle losses, bro?
I mean, I'll tell so like if you were to ask me that 2, 3 years ago, I would say um I force things, I would continue trading, but nowadays, like if I were to be trading and I have a bad day, just stop. Who cares? I mean, that money's gone already. And if you're gonna continue trading in a bad mindset, you're just gonna be losing more money and then being more pissed off and then having a bad day, taking it out on others. And what's that's gonna do?
Spiral.
That's gonna cause more problems in your life. It's just not worth it.
Yep.
It's not worth it at all. I mean, I remember even just down to like 2 years ago, I'd be on trips with my fiance, and if I was trading, or even if we were out going to the mall or whatever it is, even going out to breakfast, dude, I would be on my phone constantly reading those charts, stressing about that trade. If
Same,
you're gonna be
bro.
taking, but something I've learned, if I'm gonna be taking a trade that's gonna stress me out that much, I shouldn't probably be taking it because I'm not well educated enough to know if that's gonna work out or not. I got to be confident. I don't want to be going out having to constantly stare at my phone, watching charts to make sure
Bro.
I'm lucky or whatever it might be.
Yeah, bro. I've been in the car like ride with one of my buddies he's trying to talk to me, have a conversation. He's trying to talk to me. And I'm like glued to my phone, bro. I'm not even listening to what he's saying, bro. And he has to like repeat himself. I'm like, what? And it's like, bro, get
Uh-huh.
off
And
the
that just
phone.
comes down to like the five. That comes down to like the five P's, right? Being properly prepared,
Proper
so you don't have
performance.
the
Yep.
poor performance,
Yep.
and then you won't have to be
Correct.
stressing about that trade or stressing about that sport bet you took because you know you studied that player very well, or you studied that stock very well, and you know the charts and you know the volume and how many people are trading it and what's getting bought or what's not getting bought. Like if you do your due diligence,
Yep.
you'll be okay.
Man, that's powerful. Man, I think that's a good point to part two on the way for sure.
Yes, sir.
And
Absolutely.
go remind them one more time your handle, bro. Leave it off
Just
on a
Instagram. Instagram
quote.
is just Josh.Lucas with two S's, Josh, period, Lucass.
Cool,
That's
cool.
all I'm sitting
And,
on right now because I'm not on Snapchat or Twitter.
yep. And give them one piece of advice that you want to leave them with, maybe that helped you along your journey.
Man, I would just say, I mean, I can sit here all day and maybe give a few pointers, but like never give up, man. Stay faithful and stay hopeful and stay hungry. You're never give up, man. Never let that be an option. And if you feel like you're having a bad day, just go for a walk, go do something that's going to make you feel great, and then get back at it the next day. There's no reason to stress about it, man. We're on this earth for only a certain amount of time, and you don't want to spend your days stressing out about everything.
Boom.
That's right,
Thank
man.
you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And part two on the way.
All right, cheers, guys.